Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to introduce you to Shari today. Shari is one of my students in VA school, and she is here to tell you all about her experience in the VA world, in the VA school world. And I really appreciate you coming. So tell me a little bit about, where you were before VA school and where you are now on your journey.
So, I don't think I knew what a VA was until about last summer. So I'll just say right now I'm currently working at a university. I've been there for 11 years, but I've always done freelance work, grant writing, project management, updating websites. Um, so I'd always done something along those lines. And last summer, just bogged down at work, I was like, I've got to figure something out. And I just started looking around what options were, and apparently it's called a VA. So so that's sort of where I was last year.
Hmm.
Um, in terms of clients, so I've had one client consistently over the last decade. Um, I work for an author slash marriage and family therapist. And yeah, and I just do things here and there, and things come in and out, but she's been my consistent client. So since then, since I started this program, I've had two additional. One client is a website build, and my other client is basically what I do at my regular job. Budget projections, proposal development. Um, yeah, and I still work full time at the moment as well.
That's awesome. So do you see this as something that you'll be doing on the side for a long time, or are you looking to shift?
I'm looking to make the shift.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel ready for it, and I think I'm just waiting for that right moment. End of a current contract, and then hopefully I'll be all set and ready to go.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, right now the two additional, it's all I can manage. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see that. So what is it that you're looking forward to? Like, what is it about how your lifestyle will change that you're excited to be a VA?
It's flexibility, more place and location than anything else. Um, yeah, my husband and I are both avid travelers. We did a cross country trip about 3 years ago, and I was working right along our whole trip, and I
Hmm.
just want to be able to do that. Like, I luckily I think we're in a world where a lot more people are going remote,
Hmm.
and the opportunities are there. But just being a VA allows me, you know, more on my time, my schedule. Take projects that you like to do. Um, so that's definitely my hope once I go full time with this.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. And it is true. You have a lot more control. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so let's talk a little bit about VA at school itself. So, what was it that made you say, yes, I want to do this? Like, I'm doing this course.
I liked, you know, I like that you weren't a TikTok guru. Like that's a lot of what I've been finding is just the, oh, look at how wonderful my life is. Look at me on the beaches of Mexico. And yes, that's great, but that's a lot of marketing. It's not content.
Right.
So I and I don't even know I don't know how, I can't remember how I came across the VA school. I have
Hmm.
no idea, but I liked it felt real and not gimmicky.
Thank you
That
for saying that
yeah.
because really, 'cause there's a part of me that's like, you should be on TikTok. You should be on TikTok. Everyone's on TikTok. And so thank you. Now I don't have to be on TikTok.
There are great things on TikTok.
Yes.
I won't bash on TikTok, but it's just, it's more about the content. And there are people out there who make good content, but
Yeah.
that's what you want. You don't want the marketing,
Right. Right, right,
yeah.
right. No, I understand, and I am gonna probably try it just because it's the next thing.
Mhm.
But I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean, and I love creating the content, and I love producing it so that everybody can get where they want to go. So so you signed up, we've been working together for a while. What was an aha for you? Like once you got in and you were doing this and you were in VA school, if you could talk about an aha and maybe a little bit about the support that you get, how supported do you feel in the school?
So I think the aha was just the trickling, the sprinkling. That's what it
Sprinkling.
is. The sprinkling. Just how it's just about just putting little seeds. It's not a big splash, especially for an introvert who, if you heard my elevator speeches, you'd be like, this is not an elevator speech. This is like, Empire State Building elevator speech.
I actually have the Empire State Building right here.
I mean, that's pretty much how I am. I'm like, oh, blah, yeah, I do that. So being able to have it little snippets of what you do and just, yeah, the planting of the seeds and not I have to have this, not at this point. Maybe if you're building out much larger, you need like the 90-day marketing plan but right now it's just little tiny planting of the seeds.
Yeah, I have some good news for you. As your business gets bigger, and if you decide to, you do want to go full time, then what happens is you get really good at sprinkling. Sprinkling is like relationship marketing, essentially. You get really good at it. It takes less time. You have to do less of it, and that's all you do. You just keep doing that. So in 11 years, $1 million, like the whole big story, it's still the same thing, and even less than you guys are doing because I have a reputation now.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I have clients now who are like, when you're ready, I can put you out there. And I'm like, hold it, just a little bit longer. Because you don't want to start saying no immediately. So you want to be ready to start the sprinkling and have others start recommending you.
Right.
As far as the support, like it's, I heard Beth talk the other day to everyone, and it is the group that gets together twice a week. Like, you become friends with them on Facebook, and you see their family and their animals, when they're sick and not feeling well, or it's just that community. Back in December, there was there's another person in our VA school, and I got to meet her in person. And at that point, she wasn't attending the study halls, and I was like, I felt like I was pitching her something, I was pitching her something she'd already, signed up for. And I was just like, you need to come. Like, there's no stupid question. Everybody feels as weird and awkward initially as you do. You don't need to just sit there in the corner and think, I don't want to charge this much, or, I said, everybody feels that way. And until you're there listening to other people, you just don't know. So I think that's really the key to this, is just the community and just hearing everybody's stories as they're progressing.
Yeah, it's funny. For most of my life, I thought that I was the only one that had all this stuff going on in my head. I don't know why. Like, was I an alien? I don't know. But I remember the first time I heard someone project back to me what I was thinking in my head, and I thought, it was transformational. It let me off the hook so much, because I didn't have to be afraid that I was like a freak of nature or something, But I thought that I was. I thought that there was something wrong with me because I couldn't do it by myself. And so I'm glad to hear you say that. Yeah, it is. And one of my favorite things is if I don't get into the Facebook group till the evening, that's a lot of times when I go in and say hi to everybody. And I'll see a whole thread where someone has some kind of question or a problem, and it's just all handled. And you guys just help each other. And then what happens is there's a group beyond this that you're going to be invited to join. Those guys hire each other because they know each other's specialties, and it becomes this whole network. It's amazing.
I've even thought about that. I'm like, okay, if there's something comes up and it's a bigger project, like, who can you have, manage the spreadsheets, or, who's good at graphic design.
Right. Spreadsheets, Lana, right? Exactly. I don't know if you know Lana yet, but yeah, she's a spreadsheet guru for sure. She blew my socks off. If you need that, let me know. I'll introduce you to her. She's a VA school graduate. Yeah. That's awesome. That's
But yeah,
awesome.
going back, everybody has, I think some people call it the peanut gallery, or the two Muppets, the two old Muppets, the two old men who go all crazy. Yeah, and I would say 95% of people have them.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. Yeah. And that is a big part of it. I think that's a really big part of it. So if you were on, well, let me ask you, well, you might have just answered it. I was going to ask you what's your favorite thing, and maybe it's study hall. Is your favorite thing study hall? Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
yeah, I mean, it keeps, yeah, even if you lag behind on the modules, like it keeps some accountability.
Hmm.
Because the modules, like, they'll be there.
Right.
So, it's, you don't have to worry so much. So when you're in the study hall, it is the, okay, this person's this far, or, yeah, just gauging where you are, and yeah, the accountability of it.
Hmm.
Other people will, if you've said I'm going to set up my LLC, and 3 months, 4 months down the line, you're like, oops.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's definitely the study hall and the community.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I love study hall. I really do. I look forward to it. I have study hall right after this. In fact, at 5:30,
Mhm.
that I'm excited about. So, if someone was on the fence, so here you have a job, so
Mhm.
you have the security of doing this at your own pace, and a lot of people in VA school do have jobs, because why not when you have the funds and things like that. But if someone were on the fence about the lifestyle or about school, or
Mhm.
is this different from another course, or is there enough in there to do it, if they were on the fence, what would be the message that you had for them?
I think the fact that the information's all consolidated, like, and it's dinner time, so you get to see my cat.
Right.
But yeah, it's the information being there for you, and it will always be there for you. So
Right.
you're not, like me, I'm not fully ready to go, but with that in mind, like, I will be ready. I'm doing all the steps to get ready and
Mhm.
slowly getting there. It's not like I made this big sudden, 180. Um, so yeah, it's just, yeah, it's all there for you, um, yeah.
That's
Like,
awesome. That's awesome.
I definitely debated, like, I was like, should I do this? Should I do this? Like, and finally I just bit the bullet, like, last minute, I think it was the last day, I was like, done. And it's been great, you
That's
know.
awesome. That's awesome.
Right, and, like you say, it's very much a mental mindset, and it just helps you get past that.
What's your cat's name?
This is Tigre.
Very cute.
Tiger in Spanish.
Wants to be in the action. They
The
always
only
want to be in the action, right?
the only time she lets me near her is when it's food times.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go feed her. And thank you again. I really appreciate it. I know this helps so many people to, sort of see inside, who's in VA school, and what they've been able to get, and what kind of support there is, and all of that. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in a little bit in study hall.
Definitely. Take care.